China's tech giant Huawei has surpassed its U.S. counterparts, leaving the USA stunned and questioning its position in the global tech race. Today, we will explore the rise of Huawei and its recent developments in the smartphone and personal computer markets, highlighting the strategic moves that have contributed to its success. Let's get into it. Have U.S. sanctions against China's tech sector backfired? It seems so. Instead of stifling China's growth as a global tech hub, these sanctions have inadvertently spurred China's determination to build its own independent tech capabilities. Furthermore, they have also compelled U.S. chip manufacturers to scale back their production. As a result, Chinese tech and computer companies are gaining ground in the global market and advancing in technology driven by their resolve to achieve self-reliance and reduce dependence on foreign tech components. A recent example of this backfire is seen in the case of Micron, a major American manufacturer of storage chips, which has been barred from purchasing necessary components in China, including those from other countries. Consequently, Micron's performance in China has suffered, while Huawei, a Chinese tech giant, has surpassed its U.S. counterparts. This trend indicates the growing impact of U.S. restrictions. In response to Huawei's success, the U.S. has imposed severe sanctions multiple times, including limits on chip production and supply. Despite the challenges imposed by U.S. sanctions, Huawei has managed to stay afloat. The company has effectively turned pressure on motivation by substituting over 10,000 foreign components with domestic alternatives, integrating them into its supply chain. This strategic move has enabled Huawei to continue advancing its smartphone business and other sectors despite a significant drop in sales. But what is the main idea behind Huawei's recent developments in the smartphone and personal computer markets? Despite facing challenges and a declining overall market trend, Huawei has managed to regain momentum in its smartphone business and achieve significant growth in the personal computer industry. In the first quarter of this year, Huawei experienced a 41% increase in domestic smartphone shipments and saw its market share rise to 9.2%. The company has also made efforts to expand its operations globally. Similarly, Huawei's personal computer industry witnessed a 34.1% growth in shipments compared to the previous year, with a market share of 10.7% in China. Despite decreasing market shares among other computer manufacturers, Huawei has been steadily improving its supply chain and defying the declining trend. However, Dell's decision to comply with U.S. chip legislation by discontinuing the use of chips manufactured in China could have negative consequences for the Chinese chip sector and impact Huawei's future growth. Why is HP optimizing its supply chain with Chinese companies and preparing for potential withdrawals? The American corporation is aware of the public's opposition to profiting from such practices. Consequently, Dell is witnessing a decline in market share, a self-inflicted wound. Meanwhile, consumers have a responsibility to support Chinese businesses, as evidenced by Huawei's success against industry trends. The key point is that attempting to separate from China would lead to failure, as they possess the world's largest market and an exceptional supply chain. Moreover, competitors like Huawei, which has surpassed U.S. corporations subject to heavy penalties, are poised to replace them due to their superior performance. Foreign media has explicitly stated that Huawei has outperformed penalized U.S. corporations, as reflected in its reclaiming of 8% market share previously held by Google and Apple. Despite long-standing monopolies and skepticism surrounding Huawei's Harmony OS, the company has firmly secured the global third position in the market. 2 years have passed since the release of the first generation of Harmony OS, and now the third generation is available to the public. Surprisingly, Harmony OS not only remains in the market, but has also captured 8% of the market share from tech giants Google and Apple. This growing consumer recognition highlights the power of Harmony OS, an operating system developed by the Chinese. Notably, the latest generation of Harmony OS has completely removed Google's Android source code and shed its reputation as a modified version of Android. China's late entry into the technology field and previous role as an imitator are changing. Chinese tech companies like Huawei are now representing, innovating, and leading the industry. Huawei's substantial investment of nearly 1 trillion yuan in research and development over the past decade has enabled them to compete with U.S. counterparts through their independent technologies. This success underscores the importance of possessing one's own technology as a foundation for confidence and survival in the global market.